was only 16 years old when he picked up an axe and diced up his parents and siblings in cold blood. Now, over 35 years later, he's being released from prison under a supervised work program. And everyone's asking a ton of questions. Like, has justice truly been served? Can this man that's committed such heinous acts truly change? This isn't just no shocking headline here, all right? This is a story about punishment, about a complex and morally bankrupt system that claims to be about rehabilitation, but often fails to live up to that promise. But before we get into that, I'd just like to say, greetings, Kamook heads. I know this is a different channel than usual, from usual. This is not my main Kamookster channel, but I decided to make this channel just to address things that I found a little bit more important, things that should be taken a little bit more seriously than my memes. But I'm gonna keep posting my memes. I'm gonna keep posting content over there. But so don't get worried about that. Don't get worried about that. But yeah, here's first a little bit something else. Okay, something new. Alright, so please like, subscribe, comment how you feel about this crazy case and all that stuff. just let's get this channel to at least the same level as the other. But anyway, so basically in 1988, David, he killed his parents and siblings. He killed his whole family, squad wipe, okay? As I just said. And these killings were premeditated. Apparently, he did have certain arguments with his mother and father about religion, about music, about all sorts of things. I don't know. I don't know what possibly could have escalated that much. I mean, he's a goddamn teenager. I mean, I find it kind of crazy that you murder your father with an axe over music tastes. Now, what incarnation is that cutie crap you're listening to, son? This is Biba Doobie. The crime shocked the nation for a second, but then Metallica dropped, so nobody really gave a fuck. But anyway, despite being a minor, he was tried as an adult and sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences, meaning essentially life in prison without possibility of parole. But as all laws should, the law evolved.
Minnesota passed a law ending life in prison without possibility of parole for minors,
aligning with the Supreme Court precedent that such sentences are unconstitutional for minors. Why? Because, some kids aren't fully developed yet in the head. I could have told you that. Neuroscientists could have told you that. Any parent of a 16-year-old girl could have told you that. But, they had to learn the hard way. I mean, murdering your entire family with an axe is a step up from, stealing the family car and going to Brenda's party. I don't know, man. This high schooler, he's a little bit different. But, anyone will tell you that teens don't have exactly, a firm grip on their impulses.
Ready?
So, yeah, this law basically says that if you were thrown in jail, as a minor, you are eligible for parole on good behavior. And it just turns out that David he spent 35 years being relatively chill. I guess he only really hated his parents and siblings, his innocent siblings. But yeah, so this law acts retroactively, meaning that he was let out of prison. As we speak, he's currently living in a halfway house under GPS tracking and constant supervision. Now here's the hard part. What are we supposed to make of this? I mean, forgiveness isn't easy, especially for something this, gruesome, dude. He killed his entire family with an axe, but you can't do that. That's not cool. I mean, just think about how this affects the public, knowing that this guy is just wandering the streets these days. But imagine a cousin, a distant cousin. Imagine hearing that your cousin squad wiped your aunt, your uncle, your other baby cousins, and he's just walking the streets 35 years later. The memory, how does that feel? How does that feel? Knowing that you lost an aunt or an uncle, and the guy that did it, he's just out there. But in an effort to keep this as close to objective as I'm capable of getting, we have to ask ourselves does redemption exist? Can redemption exist in a society like this? If we truly believe in rehabilitation, we claim to care about justice, not vengeance. If we are good people on the left and Christians on the right, how can we say that there's no forgiveness? I mean, think about it. Can a 16-year-old kid, a high schooler, be blamed for the worst thing they've ever done in their life? Like, is that fair? What were you up to during high school? No, drinking underage is illegal. But yeah, should years of therapy, remorse, like just brewing in this regret, should that just mean nothing? It gets to a point where it's like, what more could he possibly learn? How much punishment is enough? Okay, like when are you satisfied? But let's not kid ourselves. David Bronson is the exception, not the rule. There are millions of people still rotting away in their cages that haven't been affected by this law yet. I'm guessing this is a trial run just to see how the public reacts. They picked a nice old white guy, very relatable, very marketable, to just go out there and work and earn a paycheck and hopefully just stay out of trouble. And if it works out for him, then I say let's keep it around. Let's keep the law around. Of course, you're going to have to keep an eye on these prisoners. But hey, that creates jobs. I see no problem with like doing this. I honestly think we should introduce this to the rest of the country.
But that notion feels basically impossible with conservatives so quick to completely like laugh at the idea, completely shoot it down. Because he did murder his family with an axe, and I feel like they're kind of fair to do so. Like, why are we going so bold with the first Duke? Like, how we let some purse snatchers go? Like, some people that were in for like 2 years, let's let them go first. You know, some people that snatched the purse when they were 17, and you know they were hungry. They needed the money in there to buy food for their mother with cancer or something, rather than the dude that murdered his entire family with a brutal weapon. Oh, I genuinely don't think that these conservatives are really like thinking that like he doesn't deserve to be forgiven or anything. I'm thinking that they're thinking of this as more as like a political move, like just to say that, oh, the Democrats are letting all the prisoners walk the streets. They want you to be afraid. They want to destroy your America, even though that's like fear tactics, like within itself. That's a fear tactic within itself. You know what I'm saying? This mic isn't on. I'm just holding it so I can look like a professional. These right-wing politicians will talk about, oh, your safety, blah, blah, blah. We want to keep the American people protected. They'll say that all day. Then they'll cut education. They'll cut housing. They'll cut mental health. They don't really care about your safety, dude. Like, come on, let's be honest. They just care about winning, okay? Winning the argument is better than being right. And those are two separate things. You understand me? Hey, man, if you want to know my personal thoughts, I believe that the prison industrial complex, specifically the American one, is the biggest eugenics experiment ever conducted in all time. Like, I genuinely think that they're throwing people with crazy, like, awful mental health in. America's undesirables, black, brown people in there. And obviously it's not co-ed. They're throwing you in there and they're smacking you with the highest sentence imaginable so that you fail. So that you don't have kids, you don't continue your fucked up bloodline. And that's just where you end, pretty much, in a jail cell. Yeah, surrounded by men. Yeah, don't drop the soap, man. Or you'll get anally violated and the guards won't do anything. Because they don't care what happens to you once they stick you in there. They just want you away from society so we don't see any more of you. Anyway, all in all, sorry about that crazy rant just now, but I think that we should give David Brom a second chance, okay? I think that him being in that halfway house working, like, that's him contributing to society rather than letting him rot in jail for another 35 years, eating up your tax dollars, cuz. I think that we should start opening this up to other people. Hopefully not more murderers, but like hopefully people that were 16, 17, and they just made an awful mistake that cost them years of their life. Let's pardon them. Let's clear their records. I'm talking about the purse snatchers, not the axe murderers, but let's clear their records. And let's show them that we can forgive, that we can be better as American people. All right, and that's it. Yeah, please like, subscribe. Go watch my Kamookster videos on the main channel, the Kamookster videos, and I'm gonna keep coming up with more serious content over here. So enjoy and stay scheming or keep dreaming. Thanks for watching. Colossians chapter 3 verse 13. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you have a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you.